The champs is here.
Yo, we out here on the track where the dreamers run. Each step a testament, here we get it done. Crushing all the hurdles, breaking through the pain. The Texas sun shines bright as we train in the lane. Push it to the limit, never look back. Texas track dad, we run the show. Talking fast times, how the athletes grow. In the podcast groove, we bring the heat. From the field to the mic, can't accept defeat. From Dallas to Houston, yeah, we're raising the bar. Every athlete's story, every victory a star. We hustle on the field, focus sharp like a spear. The clock's ticking down, but the finish line is near. With every single stride, we own the sound. Texas track dad, we run the show. Talking fast times, how the athletes grow. In the podcast groove, we bring the heat. From the field to the mic, can't accept defeat. From Dallas to Houston, yeah, we're raising the bar. Every athlete's story, every victory a star. We hustle on the field, focus sharp like a spear. The clock's ticking down, but the finish line is near. With every single stride, we own the sound. Texas track dad, we run the show. Talking fast times, how the athletes grow. In the podcast groove, we bring the heat. From the field to the mic, can't accept defeat. So lace up your shoes, let the journey commence. Texas track dad, we build the suspense.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the show. We got a good one today. We're gonna talk some hurdles, some sprints, some of that good stuff. I got my guy on here, Coach Noel, with hurdlenomics or whatnot. If y'all have any questions while the show is going on for Coach, make sure y'all drop them in the comments or whatnot. But I want to say, man, shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all's support. The show is doing good. I always appreciate y'all coming back to tune in to the show and all that good stuff. But before we get started, I got to shout out my guy over there, Trackborn. You already know what it is. If you need any track and field equipment, apparel, holler at my guy over there, Trackborn. Hey, he's been dropping uniforms already, so make sure y'all get suited and booted for the upcoming season here. So let's bring Coach on. Hey, Coach, what's happening?
Man, what's going on? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Coach, I'm doing good, man. I'm gonna tell you this, Coach. Hey, man, when you said fly, Eagles fly, I said, man, Coach about to make me cancel this show, man. This ain't mess right.
I figured.
Did you watch all the game last night?
I did. I took when they took the little weather delay, I took me a break as well, got the kids ready for bed and all that, and then I came back when they came back.
Man, that was a heck of a game, man.
It was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. It's all good though. We'll see y'all in Dallas though. You know that. So, Coach, what's up, man? We need to catch up. We're gonna catch up for a little bit, man. How everything's been going for you, man, and hurdlenomics, man?
Man, for me personally, everything's been going great. You know, just training like always, still spending time with the wife and the kids, being able to. I'm actually having fun with my group this year. I have a young group versus what we had last year. I had 7 seniors graduate last year, all went to college on track scholarships for hurdles. So we had a pretty impressive year on the hurdle side last year. So now just kind of trying to keep that momentum going, and even with the younger group, just kind of continue to develop them and set our own standard.
Nice. Now I know. I seen. Is it Naomi?
Yep. So
okay.
Yep. Naomi Booker. She goes by Peach. She won both hurdles for 6A last year. She won the 100 hurdles with a time of 13.3, and she won the 300 hurdles with a time of 41.3.
Nice. So she's 2026, right?
Yes, so she's a senior now. She actually just started her visits this weekend.
Okay, okay. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, yeah. I seen her posts of school she's going to
Yeah.
visit and stuff like that, man. But hey, good job, man. Good job, coach. You've been keeping up the good work, man. Before we get into these questions, do you have I know you've been doing these clinics and everything like that. Or you got anything upcoming right now?
So the Hurdle Collective clinics that I do with my brothers Marlon Odom and James Daniels, those Hurdle Collective clinic dates will be dropped soon.
Okay.
Um, that's separate from Hurdlenomics, but like I said, I'm a part of that, and we seen a lot of good return on that last year when we did that tour. So that's coming up. I also have a weekly series that I'm doing now, a rhythm series for hurdles.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I just dropped episode 3 today. It's called Hurdle and Flow Fridays. So just kind of really building the rhythm IQ for the hurdler and showing them exactly how hurdlenomics breaks down the beginning of our season and the patterns rhythm series that we do.
So on that series you got going on, because I seen it on IG as well.
Mhm.
Are you starting like from the beginning? This is where you start type deal, or are you just taking like different parts, then just throwing it in there?
So it starts from the beginning.
Okay.
Like so, if you we do, I typically do a 5 week rhythm series with my group before we touch any actual hurdles. Even like before we expand our drill catalog, I do a 5 week rhythm series. So I'm going through that whole rhythm series and I'm sharing it with my audience and my supporters just so they can kind of get a heads up as well. And we break it all the way down. Like I said, we're on week 3. Week 1, we talked about a 1 step drill and a snap down drill. Week 2, we started to phase in the 3 step. Week 3, which is what dropped today, was full 3 step. Then we got some more exciting things coming for the next 2 weeks.
Cool, cool. I'm just dropping your IG information in the comments. Yeah, if y'all want to see that, I just dropped his IG link in the comments. So go ahead and click that. Go ahead and follow Coach. And that's every Friday, right, Coach?
Yep, I drop it every Friday. I also invite any athletes or coaches to try the drills and tag us.
Okay.
Hurdle and Flow just kind of pays homage to where I'm from. I'm from Memphis, so Hustle and Flow,
Okay.
Hurdle and Flow,
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
did it that way, and just kind of just showing what we do and giving a little sneak peek.
Okay, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Y'all go check it out. Go follow Coach. If y'all got any questions about that, go ahead and send Coach a DM so he
Please.
can get y'all informed on that as well. Um, so Coach, what inspired you to start Hurdlenomics, and how does your approach to the training set you apart from other coaches?
Man, I once I graduated school, I went to Arkansas State University. I was a 400 hurdler there, and once I graduated, I just wanted to get involved. I started coaching like I had a brother and a sister. I That came to me for coaching, and I was just coaching them at the track. As they got better, more kids ended up coming along, and parents asking about training. And then actually, one of my athletes actually was like, "Coach, we should have a page, we should have a name
Yeah.
or whatever." So then, Hurdlenomics was born. Been under Hurdlenomics for about 6 years now. Yeah, about 6 years now. So just kind of continuing to let it grow, man, and continuing to share my passion through this brand.
Yeah, yeah, coach. Like I say, man, I like what you do with your athletes, man.
Yeah,
Well, when I see your videos and stuff, man, I see you really be involved with them. You be really dialed in.
yeah.
So you definitely doing a good job, man, with that. When coaching hurdlers, what technical aspects do you emphasize the most to your young hurdlers?
So my young hurdlers, my biggest thing that I'm trying to do is build a rhythm IQ. So a lot of times when you go to like the middle school meets or you see the youth meets where they do 80-meter hurdles or whatever, a lot of kids are stutter stepping or inefficient in between the hurdles. So a lot of things I do is I kind of take the hurdling part out of it and I
Hmm.
build that rhythm IQ. So build that. that sense of what you're supposed to do in between the hurdle. Uh, then once I can kind of get a little rhythm IQ, I can really start to go to the fence drills and things like that that actually cleans up the form. For
Mm-hmm.
me, I start feet. I start at the feet and I work my way up. So the first thing I'm doing is teaching them what their feet are supposed to do when they're going over the hurdle, what their trail legs should do, what their lead legs should do. Then once I handle the feet and the legs, I work on the core, making sure they're keeping their core involved. And once
Mm-hmm.
we got all those pieces together, then I'll start adding the hands.
Mm-hmm.
Start adding the hands and just kind of getting some consistency in what to do. And it takes time. It takes a lot of time. There's a lot of different ways to coach it and teach it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but like I said, I have my way that I teach it, and it's been successful for me and my athletes. So it's funny. I had a guy tell me that he can go to a track meet in Texas, watch a hurdler, and know if they're mine or not just from how they hurdle. So
Ah, I got you.
pretty
Got
that was pretty eye opening
you. Yeah.
and made me feel good because like I said, they're doing well. So just showing that everyone in the program is truly buying in into what we're doing and trusting what I have to say and trusting the process.
Yeah, so you got that signature
Yeah,
training
got a little
going on
staple
there,
to it.
coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's what's up, coach. That's what's up. You mentioned middle school too, and I want to ask you this: how do you prepare your athletes for middle school coaching? And I'm not talking bad about the middle school
Yeah.
coaches, but a lot of those coaches they don't know the sport,
Yeah.
and some of them are just they want to do well, don't get me wrong, but they don't have the knowledge that you have, or the high school coaches, or so what do you tell them for your athletes that's in middle school?
So honestly, man, the first thing I do is I work from the inside. So
That's good. That's good.
I collaborate with the middle school coaches, the
That's
athletic
good.
directors, and just let them know, hey, once a year I do a coaches clinic only for middle
Mhm.
school coaches, and just we go out and I just show them how to set up different drills, things to look for. I
Okay.
usually bring like maybe two or three of my veteran athletes and just show
Hmm.
them how we're drilling and things like that. So
Hmm.
that's my way of working from the inside because I can only coach so many. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think the best thing to do is work from the inside and educate those that want to be educated and those that are going to be around our youth. Um, as far as the athletes are concerned, I try to make sure that I keep it fun for them because middle school hurdles are obviously lower than it's going to be in high school when they get a little more serious. So when I'm dealing with middle schoolers, man, I'm teaching all the basics. My ultimate goal is to build a three step. I've had experience to where if a middle schooler can take three steps in between the hurdles, they're gonna be pretty successful. And if they're
Hmm.
successful on the middle school level, they're gonna want to continue to do the event. And then I just continue to build in the technical aspect of it.
I know we're on the topic. I forgot and I forgot this coach name, but at the last TTF CF winter clinic I was at,
Yeah.
he was talking about the middle school so are those hurdles too tall for the middle schoolers?
Yeah, man. I believe for the girls it's fine. So the girls, the problem isn't the height because they go on the lower height. Middle school girls.
Uh-huh.
The problem for the middle school girls is the distance. They should probably be
Ah, okay.
they
Okay.
should probably be merged in just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Um, I've had girls that's been successful at that distance and still taking three steps, but a lot of those middle school girls aren't necessarily strong enough to do that
Hmm.
efficiently. And if you don't know how to teach, or if you don't take your time to teach the three-step pattern, that's when they get to doing a lot of messy technique and reaching and form breaking apart.
Hmm.
As far as the guys, I do believe uh, when you're talking about a seventh and an eighth grader, having them go over a 39-inch hurdle would be too high. I think
Hmm.
me personally, I think the seventh graders should be going over 33s, eighth graders should be going over 36s, and
Hmm.
then their summer going into high school, their age group will more than likely be that 15, 16 age group, so they'll be going over
Ah,
30. So then they can kind of really, it's just a smooth progression from one
Okay.
grade up into high school.
So the 15, 16, you kind of broke up there. What is that height again?
So 15, 16 for boys, they typically go over 39 inches, which is the varsity height for high school.
So okay, yeah, that's what I was getting at. Okay, so that
Mm-hmm.
is a varsity. Ah,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know man, I can't I'm gonna have to look it up because I hate I can't remember that name, but we talked a while about that, man. He
Yeah.
was really passionate about that. And yeah, that's some good stuff. Um Let me ask you this, man.
Okay.
I had a little I wouldn't say it was almost like a debate almost or whatnot on X. I just want to see what your thought is. Do you feel that track and field is more of a individual sport or a team sport?
I think track and field is a individual sport with a team aspect to it. The reason I say individual first is because when you go into, if anyone is blessed enough to run after college, there is no team. You're running for yourself. You're running against everybody. You have training groups and training partners, but it's an individual sport. Now we do add in a team aspect on the collegiate and the school level, which I think is fun.
Uh-huh.
Um, and like I said, you have some teams who are going to win as a team. Like here, you got Shadow Creek, who's pretty dominant. Atascocita had their time. You got Summer Creek is always in the mix, so they're winning as teams. But those
Mhm.
individuals are also winning too. That's what I
Yeah.
think is the
Yeah.
beautiful thing about the sport, because I could be on a team and my team may not do well, but I can still win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
Peach or Naomi Booker, she was the only person from her school that went to state this year. And then she came back with 2 gold medals. So if it was
Mm,
only a team sport, she wouldn't have had
yeah.
that opportunity. So
Yeah.
that's how I look at it.
Yeah. 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 That's was a hot topic
I
for me
bet.
last week. And yeah, my take on it as well was I think it's more of an individual sport
Right.
um with team support. One person on X, that's how they put it, and that's probably the best way I can ever say it,
Yeah, for sure.
because as a parent, and I tried to explain this the best way I could.
Yeah.
But as a parent, man, we wanted I, we wanted our kids to go to college and all that good stuff, and we know they have to do good in their individual first to even get looked at, to
To be on the
progress,
team.
to be on the team,
Yep.
So that was my focus point, man. I'm just now I kind of just, I'm gonna start throwing that question in there too and see get others, opinions or
Yeah.
whatnot. And what's crazy, I actually did a poll on that question, man, and it almost came out dead even because, man, it's kind
Really?
of split down the middle, man.
Okay.
And that's is really interesting. But I think it was 54-46 or
Okay.
something like that, man. But it's really interesting.
Yeah, man.
But
I see how I
yeah,
feel.
yeah,
My my son plays soccer. You know what I mean? He got a soccer game tomorrow. If the
mhm,
team loses, that's it. It's
yeah,
no, he can't win if the team loses. But in
yeah,
track, the team can lose and you still can win. So that's why I think
yeah.
it's an individual sport.
Yeah, yeah, and like you say, when those pros, man, they not when they running at them pro meets and stuff, they not running with a team. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And and I told him like, yeah, I mean, I get it. Those relays, yeah, they, you get points for those, and those are individuals or whatever. They get points that go toward the team. But like you say, what if an athlete is going by themselves and
Yeah.
there's no team? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But yeah, that's a pretty good topic, man. That's a pretty good topic. Um, how do you balance speed development with technique when hurling, when training hurlers?
Man, it's funny. We just talked about this on our Hurdle Wednesdays that we do on
Oh,
our,
really? Okay.
yeah, we do Hurdle Wednesdays on Wednesday. And
Okay.
we literally just talked about that. And for me, my balance is doing them simultaneously.
Okay.
For a hurdler, you have to always throw in speed work with your hurdling. If you don't, then will the hurdler know how to sprint while they hurdle? You know what I mean? So you have to throw that in. You have to make sure the timing is always together. I tell my kids all the time, just like the famous quote, "More money, more problems." It's the same thing with hurdling. More speed, more problems. The faster you get, the harder hurdling gets because you have so much more to control, and your timing and your instincts have to be that much better every time you get faster. So if I'm doing straight speed work with an athlete, which is important, if I'm doing that speed work, but I'm not then tying in some type of rhythm work or hurdling to it,
Mm-hmm.
now they don't know how to carry that speed and momentum through the hurdles.
So, coach, do so while you're at practice, you know, you got your athletes that come back every year.
Yeah.
Do sometimes you can see them getting faster, be like, man, it's about time for me to make that adjustment.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I call it recalibrating the hurdler.
Okay.
You have to excuse me. You have to recalibrate the hurdler just like we recalibrate a watch or we go and get things checked up. Same thing for the hurdler. As they get faster, you then have to go back and readjust their timing, get them used to a different timing, and
Mm-hmm.
get them used to a faster reaction to the hurdle.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So, you know, I always like to ask you this when you come on the
For
show.
sure, for sure.
Do you have to be a hurdler first or a sprinter first to be a hurdler?
You're a sprinter first. You're a sprinter first. Now you have some kids that start off the first thing they learn to do is hurdle, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, the speed work has to be an equal priority to hurdling. Um, I look at it as basic as it can be. You can't go over hurdle one until you sprint to it. So you got to sprint first. You got to make sure you can clear the blocks. Make sure you can get in the right angles, right positions to go through the hurdles. And again, the most time spent is hurdling. I mean, it's sprinting. The most of the time we spend during the race, we spend it sprinting.
Man, yeah, coach, I'm telling you, man, last season, man, I went to the that Tom Jones Invitational in
Okay.
Florida, man, University of Florida, and there was a lot of pros out there, man, and
Yeah.
I actually got to see uh Galloway and some more
Yeah.
people run them hurlers, man, and really, man, my mind was blown, man. They are moving, dude, like you say, man, it's a sprint,
It's
man, and they
sprint.
jumping these they jumping these hurdles. It's like, man, it kind of blew my mind, man. It was a real good experience, man, for me to actually just see it in person, you know. But yeah, you're actually right about that.
Oh yeah. And then it's just one of those things. I was talking to a friend the other day. I've been to track meets and especially indoor meets with my group, and everything is crowded and congested, and we don't have time to get a full warm up. I just make them sprint before they may even go over a hurdle in the warm up. If it's that type of circumstance, we'll just sprint and get that warmed up because we hurdle all the time. They know how to hurdle. That's gonna come. But if your body isn't ready to sprint, then you won't get the results that you're looking for.
Yeah, indeed. How do you structure training to prevent injuries, especially with the demands of hurling?
I try to make sure I keep a good team around me. I'm not one of those guys that think I can do everything. So
Hmm.
I have in my program we have a strength and conditioning coach who we go to in the weight room. I go to the weight room, but I'm just there as support. That's his domain. So we have a weight coach that we go to 2 times a week, Coach George with Apex Training. I also have about 3 or 4 physical therapists around the city that I truly trust, and I send my kids to all the time. So just kind of building that team. As far as things we do at the track, I'm always stressing core work because we have to be able to engage our cores to be successful through the hurdles. I'm always
Yeah.
doing a lot of hip mobility. I got a lot of different hip mobility series on my page. So I do a lot of hip mobility, a lot of core work. Also, just making sure that I'm building in those recovery days into my program. Programming is very, very important for especially a private coach because a lot of the times our kids still go to school practice. So being able to build in those recovery days and make adjustments on the fly is very important to prevent injuries.
Yeah, yeah. So what's the most important, I would say, body part or muscle that need to be worked, or what is your, which one do you focus on the most?
The brain.
Okay, mental
That's
thing, huh?
the mental. It's because I can teach somebody to hurdle. That's not hard. The hard thing is when you have so many things to think about
Uh
in the
huh.
in the time frame of 13 seconds. You have
Uh
so
huh.
many things to think about over and over and over again. So I always say I feel like a hurdler has to walk on the track being the most confident person in the stadium
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're not only going against you're not only going against the seven other people lined up, but you're also going against 10 other hurdles that are in front of you. So you have to be confident. You have to think about what you're doing before you do it. I always talk about thinking in the future. So when my
Hmm.
athletes are behind the blocks, you can see some of them. A lot of my hurdlers, man, I'll tell you, they don't even do a run out over hurdle one. You can see them standing behind hurdle one. Some turn their back, some close their eyes, and they're just visualizing what am I supposed to do because they know we do it at practice. So now it's just
Hmm.
getting the mental side together. I even have a sports psychologist come out to my group 3 times a year, and I've posted that as well. Just him out there teaching them how to handle anxiety, teaching them how to handle race day stress and nerves. So I would say for me, it's the mental, it's the brain. If I can get that together and you're willing to do the work at practice, I think we're going to be successful.
Coach, man, you're doing some good things, man. I talk about that also. The sports psychologist, man, and it helps, man. It really do help those kids
Yeah,
when they are able to talk to somebody like that, man. And once they good to go, man, they are a different athlete, man. They
yeah,
so freaking focused after that, and like for the parents who are listening, the coaches, man, if y'all can get a sports psychologist out there or something like that, or just get them to come speak, to your track team, it's gonna do so much,
it does.
right? And I guarantee you, somebody, a coach, athlete is gonna reach out after that, or a parent and say, "Hey, I need to go talk to them a little bit more,"
Always.
And it's like, yeah, and it's just it's based on the kid. It's not. It don't have to be 6 months long or anything like that. You can go for 2 weeks, or it just depends, But I do think, man, that really helps, man. Man, coach, shout out to you for doing that for sure.
Man, I appreciate it. I've been doing it. This is my 4th year doing it. And man, literally, I always get parents within the next week text me, "Hey, coach, can you give me
Told,
his number?
told, yep,
Uh,
yep,
we're gonna go once a week, every other week, whatever." And it really does help. This year, my
yep.
group is actually journaling for the whole year. I made
Okay.
journals for them to kind of just write things down, write their goals down, write their progress down. How did you
Hmm.
feel after practice today? What felt good? What didn't feel good?
Hmm.
What do you feel like you need to do better? Things like that. So just kind of, I really try to touch everything, man, and keep a strong team around me.
Nice, nice. Good work, coach. Good work. Man, I'm trying to make sure did I say Galloway earlier today?
I thought you said Holloway.
Holloway. Okay, all right, man. It's been a long week for me. I want to make sure I get the names right, especially with the pro. I'm an old guy, man. I'm an old
Right,
guy.
I got you. I got
Uh, what strategies do you use to help athletes stay confident after setbacks, like false starts, missed times, and injuries?
Man, we have fun. You know what I mean? I know that sounds cliche, but I have so much fun with my kids, and we deal with failures at practice so much, and I make failures be normalized. I normalize those things so that when they do get to the meet, um, they can handle it a little better. You know what I mean? If somebody falls in my practice, everybody knows the rule. That person gets right back to the front of the line as long as they're healthy afterwards. You know what I mean? We try to create that short term memory feeling, just kind of letting it go and taking everything. Whether it's a false start or whether it's a fall, Man, I'll tell you, I had a young lady in my program who now she's off to college. She goes to University of Memphis, running track there, and she's had a lot of falls. You know what I mean? Her name is Kelly
Mm-hmm.
Frederick. She's had a lot of falls, but she's
Mm-hmm.
also run 13.5 in hurdles. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she failed at state her sophomore year. I mean, her junior year, she failed
Mm-hmm.
at state, and she was definitely on the track to try the podium. And then the
Mm-hmm.
next year, in the same meet, in the same lane, she gets third at state. So we just try to make sure we normalize those things and don't harp on them too much. Um, Allow the athletes to have feelings, allow them to be upset and feel how they're going to feel. But at some point, we have to, I always say, work the problem.
Coach, man, I'm telling you, man, you're doing some good stuff because I like how you facilitate understanding that it's normal um, to feel that way, you know, after a fall or something like that. It's normal, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's man, that's a great job. And how do you teach them to handle her pressure? Just say from a big state meet, or they go into JOs, or how do you teach them to handle that? What are you telling them, Coach?
Man, I'm just telling them to, at the end of the day, have fun and execute. You know what I mean? My kids will tell you all the time, we don't race. We never race. We're not there to race. We're there to execute our lane. And if we can get on the line and focus on us and the 10 hurdles in front of us, or 8 if you're talking about 300 hurdles or whatever, if we can get on the line and focus on what we're doing and execute our job, then that's all that matters. I try to keep it light in the warm up area. We're gonna warm up. We warm up really well, but I try to keep it light. We may be looking at TikTok, so we may be laughing and joking and just having fun. Like I said, I ran track, so I know how stressful it can be sometimes, especially at those big
Mm-hmm.
meets. You know what I mean? So I just try to make sure we have fun and keep the main thing the main thing. Understand at the end of the day, we just want to live the race another day, live to compete another day.
So I seen a post,
Okay.
and I talked about it on X or whatnot. I was watching a post. The person on the post was, coaching, the athletes or whatnot. And this person said, "Track is never fun. It never will be fun. And when they go off to college, when you go off to college to run on the next level, it's not going to be fun then either. It's only fun when you winning,
Mm.
right?" And my comment to that was that is false. It's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
always drop my disclaimer. Um, that is false to me because, for one, if you're not enjoying it, why are you doing it anyway?
Yeah.
But when you enjoy it, it's fun. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Is track and field hard? Yes, it's hard. There's no doubt about that. And when you go to college, it gets even harder, right?
Right.
But you got to have fun doing it. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah, I just don't think that it's all about win sometimes. But that it was just my point of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's track it's enjoyable, but telling athletes it's only fun when you win is not true to me because these athletes they accomplish so much at these track meets
Right.
and they don't win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they don't win. Maybe they executed a perfect drive phase or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get a
Right.
gold medal, but they won that technique move. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? And I just think, man, that it need to be that word it need to be adjusted on that, man, because those kids, man, at a certain age, man, they need to just be having fun too, man.
Yeah.
It's not all about that, but that's just my 2 cents on that, Coach.
Yeah, no, man,
Uh,
I agree. I agree with that completely. You know what I mean? I think
yeah.
granted, I'm very competitive. My group, no, I do not
Hmm.
like losing. I want to win. I want to be in a final every track meet we go to.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah, for
mean?
sure. Uh-huh.
But you have to have fun. If you have athletes who are only having fun if they're winning, that athlete is not going to be in the sport very long, and their mental capacity is not going to be very deep. You know what I
Yep.
mean? They're not going to be
Yep.
able to handle so much if they're only if their only access to being happy in the sport is coming in first. Man,
Yeah.
you've been to these high school meets for the hurdles. We may have 85 girls signed up for the hurdles.
Yeah.
You got 85 girls, but the podium only fit 3 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you telling me out of those 85 girls, we're only gonna get uh, 80. We're gonna get 84 unhappy people. I understand they may be mad about not winning, but you still got to try to have fun while you're there, have fun in
Yeah.
what you're doing, and compete and be competitive.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Yeah.
compete when you're not having fun.
Yeah. 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 And I agree with it, man. And it's just one of them things, man. For for the audience that's listening now, make sure you implement something fun at practice too. Them
Yeah,
kids, they work hard. Winners go come. Don't get me wrong.
for sure.
We come to win too. We like winning. But make sure you parents make sure you asking your athletes, do they still enjoy what they doing?
Yeah.
Right? Do they still enjoy it? And the one thing I hate to get on my soapbox on this, but the one thing I hate the most when I talk to athletes and I ask them what they hobby and they tell me all I do is track. That's all I do, track 24/7. No, it don't work like that because you gonna get burnt out. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So make sure you have a hobby and all that good stuff, and things will definitely
Man, I
work
tell
out for you.
people all the time, I encourage people to go to my Instagram page and scroll down and just start somewhere in August because that's when we start. August is always a new cycle for us. Go to August and just go through the videos and just go through the year. My kids are winning. My kids are being competitive in their district, in the state. We had 7 people on the top 20 national list last year. But if you look at our videos, they're laughing, they're having fun. I've posted videos of people being frustrated at how reps are going and how we handle that in the live moment. But ultimately, they're having fun. We're having a good time. Hard being at a track, running, or training for 2 hours, go to the weight room for another hour. Hard to do that consistently if you're not having fun.
Yeah, for sure. We got to come in here on IG and Facebook, Instagram, X. If y'all got comments, go ahead and drop them. So work equals force
Coach Harold.
times distance.
Yep.
Who is that?
Coach Harold.
All right, Coach Harold. Okay.
Mhm.
So he says PR are more important than medals. Eventually the medals will come.
Right.
Build the foundation on the achievements and create motivational awareness of the deficiencies. And that's right, man.
For
That's
sure.
I got to agree with that 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Uh,
If
yeah,
I'm PRing, then I'm winning the battle against myself. And
yeah,
if I can continue to win that battle, then everything else will come to me. And the beautiful thing about our sport, you're not getting scholarships because you won. You're getting scholarships based on what time you ran. So if you got second or third place, but you ran the third one of the top fastest times in the nation, now you're gonna be a solid asset for the next level.
yeah. You're right about that. Those times, man, they matter. Those times matter. And when those coaches call you, they already know what your times are. When they know all your times when you get
Right.
contacted by the coach. So let's jump into some recruiting for a little bit since you brought that
Okay.
up. As a coach, what do college programs look for when recruiting hurlers? You think?
Um, Obviously they're looking at grades regardless of the athlete. You know what I mean? They're looking at grades. When we're talking about a female hurdler, a lot of them are looking at, can she do something outside of hurdles? Can she sprint? Can I use her on a 4x1? Can I use her on a 4x4? Because unlike some schools do, not just in Texas but wherever, hurdlers are not gonna hurdle every week. They shouldn't hurdle every week. You know what I mean? So they're looking at what else can this person contribute to the team,
Mm,
especially if you're thinking about, if you got someone who is a 400 hurdler primarily and doesn't do the
mhm.
short hurdles. Now what you're saying is they have to be able to do something else. Because when they go indoors, there are no 400 hurdles. You got the 400. You got some schools running 600 now. Some conferences running 600 now. You got
Mm-hmm.
some 400 hurdlers who may go up to an 8. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
they have to be able to contribute somewhere else on the track. When you're talking about guys, they're looking for some of the same things. What can he do outside of hurdles? Can he sprint?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I hate to say this sometimes, but they are looking at your height. You know what I mean? Sometimes the height
Mm-hmm.
can be there can be a compromise on the height based on what you're running and what you're doing. There are some really good hurdlers now that are not 6'2" or 6'3". You know what I mean? But
Uh-huh.
they are looking at your height because for boys, the hurdle goes from 39 inches in high school to 42 inches in college. So they're looking at height, making sure that you can continue to progress and handle that higher hurdle. Um, and one thing I would say on that to any coaches watching, if you have a junior or senior male who you know he's being looked at to run in college, it's nothing wrong with over the summer, every now and again, phasing in some drills of him going over 42s. He doesn't have to come out the blocks, nothing crazy. You can do a 6-step approach, go over 42-inch hurdle, and record it. Because I'm telling you, I've done it. I've got guys be recruited, and when I text them coaches and I say, "Hey, I got this guy," I
Mm-hmm.
immediately add some videos of them training over 42s just so they can get a picture of, okay, he can handle that because they're gonna ask
So,
anyways.
okay, so 42 inches gonna be college.
Yeah, 42
Oh,
inches
okay.
college for the boys.
So let me just try to make sure I get this straight. So you saying the summer of
Well,
or when
just
they start
you just
practicing
want
it?
to blend it in, right? So
Okay.
I had a junior last year, so this summer I had a junior last year who was going to be recruited. He just became a senior. Over the summer, we were doing some 42 drills. Towards the end of the year, every now and again to warm him up. I actually have a guy who's at Arizona State now, and to warm him up, I may have him do some 6-step approaches over a 42-inch hurdle, just so he
Okay.
can really focus on being super clean over the hurdle, and then I
Mm,
would drop it down to race height or a little bit lower, depending on what we're doing that day. But
okay.
it doesn't have to be something you do all the time. You can do it once a week. You can do it once every other week. Just as they get older, and you just have to prepare them for the future. I was not a short hurdler, but I've seen people get to college on their first day of hurdle practice. They had never in their life been over a 42-inch hurdle,
Oh, wow.
and they
Wow.
get there,
Wow.
and I've seen some not work out. Like, coach, I can't do it.
Wow. Wow. Because it's like you said, it's a mind thing too.
Yep.
When they see
Hmm.
that, they're like, you
Oh
know what?
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, man, that's some good stuff. Everybody that's listening. Yeah, y'all throw those 42s in there, work them in. For
And
those athletes
if
today.
anyone
Yeah.
ever has questions on how to do it in a safe and strategic way, definitely reach out to me. You know what I mean? You can also reach out to my brother, Coach Marlon, with Heart of Science.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he's one of the people who kind of encouraged me to do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
reach out to one of us. We would love to help and have you do that in a strategic manner.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I dropped Coach Noel information there in those comments in the comment section there. So y'all hit them up if y'all have questions about those 42s and how to work that stuff in there like that. Coach, let me ask you this:
Okay.
how can high school athletes stand out to recruiters beyond just good hurdle times and marks? What do you think some things they can possibly do?
Show that you can do more than hurdle. You know what I mean? Show that you can do more than hurdle. Show that you can be a leader. I know that's something that some people think coaches don't care about anymore, but team camaraderie and team chemistry is very, very important. You know what I mean?
I
So
agree.
they're looking for people who can come in and vibe and mix well. So just showing the coaches the individual. You know what I mean? And doing things outside the track. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just showing that you're already understand how to have balance.
Yeah, 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 for sure. being a leader, stepping up and leading something going into college, it's scary,
Yeah, it is.
but just doing the little things that people kind of shy away from when you get to college, it goes a long way. And like you say, building that chemistry, man, helping build the chemistry of the team, man. The closer y'all are, the stronger that team is going to be.
Right.
And I do think coaches look for that, because one bad apple, they can recruit one bad apple, man. It can destroy the whole team.
Yep. It will. It will.
you know and I think coaches they look at that now, just like even with club coaches, trainers, or anything like that, they bring in one bad apple, man. It gets bad, man. it,
No,
it
it
it gets
does.
bad.
It
It's good.
truly does.
Yeah, it gets bad and it gets stressful. But coach, yeah, man, that's some good points you made. Because these college coaches, they look more than just your times. Of course, they look at that. That's gonna be the first thing, but they look at what you're doing on Instagram. They look at if you got a hobby,
Yep.
also. And believe it or not, they look at your family too. Your
Yeah.
family, it I tell y'all all the time, they not just only recruiting you, they
Right.
recruiting your whole family.
They're
You know,
recruiting everything. It's so important. A lot of coaches want to. That's why home visits are a thing. They want to see, okay, what am I really getting? Let me check the Carfax. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yep, yep.
What am I really getting? What type of environment are they growing up in? And that's not necessarily a negative thing, but the environment you grow up in can also tell a coach if their environment at their campus is a good fit for you or not.
True.
Is it
Yep.
going to be so much of a culture shock where you're never going to want to come home? I mean, you're never going to
Hmm.
want to stay on campus, or you're going to want
Hmm.
to come home every weekend. You're going to want to hit the portal. So just let them know who you are, man, and showing that you're more than just a hurdler, and not, like I said, as a sprinter and as a person.
Um, that we kind of hit on that one. But how do you advise athletes who might not get a immediate D1 offer? Or what do you tell this kid that's been emailing these coaches, man? They've been filling out questionnaires, and they will not talk to no coach unless that coach is D1.
I tell them at the end of the day, what you want and what you need may not always be the same thing. Just because you want to be D1 doesn't mean that's where you're going to be successful at. D2 is rolling. You got some D2 people that can go D1
Yeah.
and do well. I have a I have a girl alumni from my group that she runs D2, and she's a two-time All American, NCAA All American. You know what I mean? Uh,
Hmm.
and I also tell them at the end of the day, man, go where you want it. Go where you're going to be wanted. Go where you're going to be valued and celebrated. Don't just go just because this was the cool thing or they got the nice
Hmm.
Instagram videos. Go
Hmm.
somewhere that's going to value you, because if they value you, they're going to take care of you. And if they take care of you, then you're going to do well.
Hey, that's 100 right there, Coach. You hitting on something there, because I think that's very important. I think sometimes these athletes, they rush, they go to these certain schools because that's the pop in school or whatnot, and not looking at what's going to fit them.
Right.
Because they go down there and they realize, you know what, the school ain't for me. Now I'm in a transfer portal. Now what?
Hmm.
you know, and that's another beast,
Right. For
so
sure.
just make sure y'all take those college visits. You want to make sure you're taking those serious, asking questions, and make sure you're getting a good fit. And another thing, when you on those visits, talk to athletes away from the coaches,
For sure.
right? They're
Absolutely.
gonna tell you how it really is. You see what
Yep.
I'm saying? You're gonna get two different stories while you right there with the coach, and where they when y'all away. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
And
So
don't
when y'all
just talk
go,
to your don't only talk to your host. Talk to other people, because a lot of times
exactly.
you got that host for a reason. That's somebody who that I was always a host. Me and my coaches were cool, and I was blessed enough to have good coaches, so I never had anything bad to say. But that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that it was the same experience for everyone on the team. So talk to people outside your host as well.
Yeah, yeah. And if you see people walking around on campus and start asking, "Hey, how is it down here?"
Hmm.
Just yeah. Don't be afraid to talk. Yeah. So we get on the we was talking about the portal and whatnot. So here are a couple of questions about that.
Okay.
Uh, the portal has become a big part of college sports. From your perspective, how has it changed the opportunities for hurdlers and sprinters?
I think the portal has. I think it's changed the opportunities for hurdlers and sprinters because they get to go somewhere that just may be a better fit. Sometimes you go to a school and you may like the school, but the programming is not the best fit for you. Or maybe you just realize, hey, I really cannot handle being 10 hours away from the house. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So being able to go to the portal and use it in positive ways, I think that definitely benefits. I also think it benefits the other schools as well because it gives some of the smaller mid-major schools opportunities for some of this talent that if they stayed at their current school, they may get looked over, or maybe
Yeah.
they're not. Maybe their speed and their talent isn't as competitive as they thought it was going to be on that level. But they can go somewhere else that's a better fit for them and be competitive.
Yeah, for sure. What advice do you give athletes considering the transfer portal, or do you give them any advice at all?
I let them know it ain't friendly. It ain't for everybody. Um, and let them know the moment you get in that transfer portal, you're unemployed. The moment you get in there, now that school is not obligated to you anymore. You know what I mean? So make sure you're getting in there for the right reasons. You know, I've had some alumni from my program that have got in the portal, and I always tell them, hey, make sure it's for the right reason. Make sure you did everything that you possibly could to make your current situation work. And if you feel like, hey, coach, I'm truly doing everything I can, because if you're telling me, coach, I'm not fast enough, I haven't gotten faster, but you're also telling me you go to parties every weekend, you're
Yeah, yeah,
not doing your recovery, you're not working hard at practice, then it might not be the school that needs to be changed. It might be the person needs to be changed.
yeah. And coach, I'm glad you said it because I don't want to say it before you. When you go into that portal, your scholarship is gone.
Oh yeah, man,
It's
I tell you,
gone.
I had a kid, and this kid is a good kid. He runs at LSU now, and he got into the portal from his old school. He got into the portal, and he had qualified for NCAA's.
Mm,
They didn't even no. I'm sorry, it wasn't NCAA's. It was regionals. He had
mm.
qualified for regionals, and they did. He couldn't go because he got
Yep,
into the portal. And now the
yep,
school was like, "Hey, I'm not using my resources." You know what I
yep.
mean? So that's the that's the grimy part of it. I can
Hmm.
understand both sides. I can understand him being upset about it. I can also understand the school's stance on it as well.
Hmm.
Uh, but it's just kind of like you got to do ultimately what's best for you. But just understand you can't go in there and say, "Oh, never mind, I'm gonna stay where I'm at." Because the moment you go in there, now that coach, he got to go shopping.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's in there too.
Yeah, for sure. And athletes, I want to tell y'all this too before we move on to our next section here. Um, Talk to y'all parents. Stop jumping
Yeah,
in that portal and not telling them.
man.
Stop doing that because you're putting pressure on them. Now they got to figure out how to get you somewhere, get you back home or something. It's a lot of factors that go into that when y'all go into that portal and don't tell nobody,
Yeah.
right? So if something going on at the school, you feel like you need to leave. First of all, call your parents, talk to them, or go ahead and talk to them, see if y'all can figure out. Y'all gonna have to just stop jumping in that portal like that and not telling your family what's going on.
And you know what,
Um,
coach? They
yeah, go ahead,
also
go ahead.
also I'll say this, and I'll let you move to the next topic.
Yeah, go
Also,
ahead.
make sure that you are transferable. If your grades aren't where they're supposed to be for you to get into another school, you know what I
Yep.
mean, or if you're not eligible, you're academically ineligible, then getting in the portal is gonna cause more problems than you expected. So just make sure if you're gonna get in the portal, make sure you check all your boxes, have all your ducks in a row, and do your part.
Yeah, and make sure you have all the good reasons for going in there, right?
Right.
Because you don't want to go somewhere else, then you're going backwards than where you already was or whatever. Make
Right.
sure you have a good reason. You're researching what you need to research, and you're talking to who you need to talk to before you making these ultimate decisions. You know, which make sure you just involve your family.
Absolutely.
Uh, what's the biggest adjustment for hurlers transitioning from high school to college?
When you're talking about boys, the obvious biggest adjustment would be height of the hurdle. Girls, the obvious big adjustment would be the speed factor. A lot of girls get away with not having, I guess, necessarily elite speed. A lot of times that's why they're trying hurdles. But when you get to college, everybody can hurdle. You got it now is who can sprint and hurdle. You know what I mean? So that's why I always say on the high school and the private level, it's very important that we blend those things together. Um, yeah, I would say those are the biggest hurdle challenges that they run into.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
and I guess the next one for men and women, depending on your program that you come from, which is why asking questions and paying attention on your visits is very important. If you come from a program like Hurdlenomics, where I drill a lot, and you go to this college where they don't drill, that may
Hmm.
not be the best fit for you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you have to. It's okay to ask the coach, "Hey, how's your programming?" Because you want to make sure that they have things in there that you feel will help you be successful.
Yeah, definitely ask about, their training techniques or the training styles, of the school or and all that whatever's involved in that program. You need
Right?
to know before you sign on that dotted line because you'll get down there and you be like, you know what, I don't this don't fit me. And then it's chaos from there because you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
So it's important when you go on those visits, make sure you asking those type questions for
for
sure.
sure.
How can high school coaches better prepare their athletes for the demands on the college programs? Because you and I know those college programs are no joke.
I would say the best thing high school coaches can do is educate themselves. There are some really good high school coaches in here. I'm not attacking high school coaches at all, but even me, I feel like I've been pretty successful lately. I continue to educate myself. I have people that I ask for advice. I get their opinions on things. So I think if the high school coaches continue to educate themselves and put some effort into the programming, I think that will help the athlete be prepared. Something that I actually told one of my parents today, Naomi's dad. He's on the
Mhm.
visit now. He was like, "Coach, they're doing like their days look exactly how you have them set up, or their practices are looking the same. They're doing some of the same things." So for me, my athletes going to a school and saying, "Oh, I'm prepared for that because Coach Noel programs us this way, or Coach Noel puts us in these types of situations." That's something that I pride myself on. So I think that'll be the biggest thing. And I guess as a private coach, I'll speak up for my other private coaches. If you're a high school coach and you have a private coach in your area or working with some of your kids, don't be threatened by their private coach. Allow their private coach to be an asset to you because that's most of us just want to help. So allow their private coach to be an asset to you and help that kid.
Yeah, yeah, good stuff. So, Coach, I've been mispronouncing your name this whole time. You ain't even told me.
So let me tell you, I never correct people because believe it or not, I have some family members who say no.
Yeah,
I literally have some
yeah,
family members who would just say no. Now I don't know if they say it
yeah,
because they're tired of people saying it wrong.
yeah,
Uh, my
yeah.
kids, I go by Devin Noel. So when people say Noah, it doesn't bother me at all.
Coach, I've been knowing you for a while now, Coach. You ain't said a word about. I said, man, so his
Mm,
name is nowhere.
no, you've always said no, and I'm like, hey, it's fine. It's
Coach ain't said nothing, man. I,
mm-mm.
I got you, Coach. I got you. I got you.
How did you just realize that you were saying it the other way.
Oh, when you said Noel, I'm like, damn, I've been pronouncing his name wrong this whole time. Oh man, I'm horrible, man. I am horrible. Man, Coach, I apologize, Coach. I apologize for
No,
that.
not at all. You're
I
fine.
got you, Coach. I got you. We just got a few more questions here, Coach.
Okay.
Let's see. What advice would you give parents who are navigating the recruiting and college preparation process with these athletes? What advice would you give to the parents, Coach?
Find somebody you trust. Find somebody you trust as counsel. Make sure you're doing the research with these kids. Also, make sure the decision is the kid's decision with your slight push. And I'll explain what I mean when I say that. I always tell my parents, if a kid is going to go, let's just say a kid is going to visit 5 schools. As a family, come up with your top 3 and then let the kid choose one of those 3. That way you're comfortable with the choice because it was in that top 3. But the kid also gets to make their decision so they can live with their decision. Meaning, I don't want a kid coming to me, oh, well, I only went here because Coach Noel told me to. No.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. And even my kids, they ask me all the time. Like I said, I have pretty much my one senior this year. I have a few seniors that will be recruited later on in the season. But as far as being recruited now, I have Naomi. And she knows out of her top 6 schools, she knows which one I think is the best fit. She knows which one her dad and her mom think are the best fit. And we just have a ranking system. We share their ranking system. And once we get to the top 3, and they trust me enough to allow me to be, be some eyes and ears on that process. But once we get to the top 3, that's going to be her decision to make, and we just have to trust that she had a feeling when she went to that school that it was going to be a great fit for her and for her future.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, man, it's one of them things, man. Recruiting, man, that process, man, it's kind of it can be tricky, man.
Right.
It can be tricky. But like I like how you said it, Coach. Their decision with a push from a little push,
right?
From the parents, and the coaches' recommendation, stuff like that, man. Because the coach, so those athletes, they'll get locked in on one school and get tunnel vision, and you're like, hey, well, hold on.
Yep. And not looking at the full picture.
Yeah, you got 2 more visits.
Yeah.
At least go to them, or at least go to one, to see. And that kid will go and be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you gotta have man, you gotta have something to compare it to. You know what I mean? You gotta have something to compare it to. I don't believe in doing a bunch of visits. Because at some point, a weight room is a weight room, a track is a track. You know what I mean? Yep. But it is important to take your visits and make sure that you're not just taking a visit because of the name. You know what I mean? If you're not 100% sure that you want to leave the state that you live in, most of your visits should be in state. And then have maybe 1 or 2 that are out of state just so you can get a feel of it. You know what I mean? So just making smart, strategic decisions.
Yeah, like those visits, man. 5 is like was our magic number, and it's like, man, anything over that for us, man. It was because those visits, man, they're fun, but it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going. Yeah, it's a lot going on. You walk in, and it's tiring. Let me say that you're going to be tired. Parents, you're going to be tired. I'm telling you that right now.
I spoke to Peach parents today, and they said, yeah, we're exhausted. They left their hotel room this morning at, I think, 8:45, and they just got back around 7 o'clock. They've been doing stuff all day, and I got another busy day tomorrow. So it's exhausting, but it's important. Don't get me wrong, but you do too many. I would say 5. Honestly, if you can narrow it down to just doing 3, I think that'd be good too. But if you do 5, or just whatever makes sense, as long as it makes sense.
For sure. And parents, get you some insoles now, because those campuses they big. Yeah. they're big, and everybody don't. They don't drive them golf course all the time, so you got to get
Right.
off the course and walk across. Man, I'm traumatized behind that.
Exactly.
Here we go. This last question here, Coach.
Okay.
If you could give one piece of advice to high school hurlers dreaming of competing in college, what would it be, Coach?
Keep going. Just keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Find somebody you trust. You know what I mean? Find somebody you trust. Find somebody that works for you. Coach Noel isn't going to be the best coach for everybody. You know what I mean? So find somebody you trust, somebody that their program and what they're teaching you fits you. And just don't stop, man. Just keep going.
Yeah.
If you truly love it and you're doing something you love, keep going. Fall in love with the stuff that you don't like. You know what I mean? And then if you can fall in love with that stuff, then the stuff you do like is gonna be just that much better. And now you can truly start to unlock your full potential.
Yeah, for sure, Coach. That's some good advice there for sure. So that was the last question there,
Yes,
Coach.
sir.
So go ahead and give us some of your shout outs and how can people find you on IG? How can they do that?
So you can find me Hurdlenomics on Facebook, Hurdlenomics on Instagram, Hurdlenomics on X. Devin Noel, if you're also on Facebook as well, I put a lot of my Hurdlenomics stuff on there too. Definitely want to give a shout out to my Hurdlenomics crew, my Hurdlenomics College Prep group, my Hurdlenomics 101 group, which is my 11 to 14-year-olds, all of my kids that are running in college now, and those that are continuing to support us and support the brand. I mean, I went to New Balance this summer, and I was amazed at the amount of kids that were from nowhere near Texas that knew Hurdlenomics and came up to me, and even coaches coming up saying, thanks for your content. So thank you all for supporting.
Nice, Coach, and Coach, keep building, man. What you're
Yes,
doing,
sir.
man, because you're building and you're building, man. Keep it going, man. I'm proud of you, man.
I
I'm
appreciate
proud
it.
of what you're doing, man.
Yes, sir.
You put a lot of time and energy in what you do, man, and it's definitely paying off. Work equal force time distance. Coach is a phenomenal coach.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
You got some fans out there, Coach. Keep it
appreciate
up. But that's gonna be it, guys. Make sure you go follow Coach. I got the links down there in the comment section and everything like that. Even though he's an Eagle fan, we still go love him. We still go follow him and all that good stuff, right? So, Coach, once again, I appreciate you coming in, Coach, and we'll catch up again. But, Coach, keep up the good work, my man.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, we out. Peace.
The champs is here. Yo, we out here on the track where the dreamers run. Each step a testament, here we get it done. Crushing all the hurdles, breaking through the pain. The Texas sun shines bright as we train in the lane. Push it to the limit, never look back. Texas track that, we run the show. Talking fast times, how the athletes grow. In the podcast groove, we bring the heat. From the field to the mic, can't accept defeat. From Dallas to Houston, yeah, we're raising the bar. Every athlete's story, every victory a star. We hustle on the field, focus sharp like a spear. The clock's ticking down, but the finish line is near. With every single stride, we own the sound. Texas track that, we run the show. Talking fast times, how the athletes grow. In the podcast groove, we bring the heat. From the field to the mic, can't accept defeat. From Dallas to Houston, yeah, we're raising the bar. Every athlete's story, every victory a star. We hustle on the field, focus sharp like a spear. The clock's ticking down, but the finish line is near. With every single stride, we own the sound. Texas track that, we run the show. Talking fast times, how the athletes grow. In the podcast groove, we bring the heat. From the field to the mic, can't accept defeat. So lace up your shoes, let the journey commence. Texas track dad, we build the suspense.